Hey friends, it's 5 Minute Fridays with Vince, and I love doing this with you guys. This is my opportunity to connect with you, to help you to transition from your work week to your weekend. For those of you who work on the weekends, I'm sorry, but this right now is just so we can be able to have that time to connect and help to get your head in a shift. So I call this one today Next Level Activation. And the reason I call that next level activation, if you caught me last week I had the opportunity to partner with and to host the Get Experience Digital Summit with Teresa Tyree and Marvin McQueen, and it was amazing. If you did not get a chance to be able to see it, scroll up my page. You'll be able to see some of the links that I have, or you can search on Facebook for the Get Experience or search Get hashtag Get 2022. Anyway, so I call this one Next Level Activation. Now, let's. The reason I call it that is because this past Tuesday, while we were in our Bible study at our church, we were studying from Matthew chapter 17, and then I noticed something that happened in right from verses 23 through 20. I'm sorry, it's 14 to 23. Really starts around verse 19, where this young boy, he's vexed with this demon, and so he goes to Jesus' disciples to try to get his son healed. And his disciples were not able to successfully deliver the young man. And so the father goes to Jesus, and Jesus addresses the matter, heals the boy, delivers him from those demons. And then later on that night, the disciples come to Jesus and like, hey, why couldn't we do it? How come we weren't able to fix that? You taught us all this stuff. We were walking in the power of the kingdom, but how come we couldn't do it? And Jesus shared with them that some of these come out only through fasting and prayer. Now, I'm not going to meditate on the fasting and prayer part. That part's self-explanatory. The part that I thought was an amazing revelation was the fact that Jesus was not afraid to let his disciples fail. Let me say this a different way. God's not afraid of you failing. He doesn't mind that you fail. He doesn't mind that you mess things up. It does not concern him that you have fallen flat on your face. What does concern him is what you're going to do after the fall, what you're going to do after the fail. It wasn't until they failed and Jesus was successful that it sparked them to draw closer, like, okay, well, what can we do to make this better? How can we perfect the craft? How can we get to this next level? If it's almost like they had a debrief and they were like, listen, obviously we're missing something. What can we do better? The Lord loves the idea. God loves the idea of us being persistent, looking to try to find the next way or the better way to do things, because otherwise it causes us to be in the perpetual failure. And he never called us to be in perpetual failure. God doesn't want to embarrass us. That's not his idea of loving on his kids. Now, watch this. The reason I say that is because if anyone knows the story of George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver came up with over 1,000 ways to use the peanut. When interviewed, Thomas Edison, when they asked him, well, how did you come up with the light bulb and how did we get to this? And he said, you know what? I learned 1,000 ways. I learned 1,000 ways not to do it. In other words, the failure didn't stop him from getting to the next place. So what happens when you get put in a situation where you go back, or you feel like that you're in the same scenario and you won it, you've been there, you've done that? I think sometimes we defeat our purpose by having a bucket list attitude. You know what a bucket list attitude is? A bucket list is a list of things that people want to do before they die, before they kick the bucket. And so oftentimes when we walk into life with a bucket list attitude, I did it one time, check, next thing. When in actuality, sometimes it requires us to go back and do it again and do it again. Mastery only comes with repetition, and repetition comes when we understand why we do what we do. What is the purpose behind it? I was telling some people last week about how my family loves watching Food Network, and so we were watching Gordon Ramsay teach some people how to French some lamb. And so this technique was something that he did in a few minutes because he had been doing it for years. And everyone else who watched him do it once tried to imitate what they saw. and failed. Most of them failed miserably. I said that to say this. Just because you get one victory in your life, or just because you saw or you got used by God, does not mean that you can't go back and operate in a different level of mastery to go better, go harder, find that next level. Maybe you missed something the first time that you'll only see on the 10th time, or that you'll only master on the 50th time. Don't be afraid to fail. Just fail forward. I didn't say this before. I said it again. Listen, I'm interested in seeing how you feel about this in the comments. Listen, I love you guys. It is again 5 Minute Fridays with Vince. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.